Welcome back to the Padilla family homestead. We are back outside in the garden this morning. It's already getting hot. But I need to fertilize with my fish fertilizer today. So I've got that in a bucket and I can show you that process. This is my first time fertilizing this season, so it is time. We're gonna harvest a few things. I'm hoping to grab some herbs. I have a new rack that I'm going to be using for drying right now. So I think it's going to be drying in the spring, summer, things like that. And then once it starts to get cold, I'm going to use it for hats and scarves. It's kind of a cool rack. Stay tuned. I'll show you that at the end. I got it. It was a fixture being sold. So yeah, I'll show you that. It's super fun. Okay, so first I'm going to take you on the tour, show you what's going on, what's growing, what's not, and some poor deaths that happened. And then after that, I'm going to take you and we're going to fertilize and we're going to harvest and we're going to string some stuff up and dry it because we're air drying it right now. And that's it. So let's get this camera turned around and let's go for a tour. If you are new to our channel, we are in the northwest corner of Arkansas. I'm in Rogers. We're renting a duplex. I have one in-ground bed here. I have 3 GreenStalks back here, and then I have half wine barrels basically with all kinds of stuff growing in them as well. We had about an inch of rain yesterday, which is awesome. The garden needed it, but I'm still going to water and fertilize because my garden really needs it. So we're going to start with the saddest of all, and that is my carrot tub. So these were really stunted. If you remember in past videos, they still are. They still need to be fed, but if you notice, there's a lot less green going on here. And basically, I found this big fat caterpillar crawling across the dirt, and it ate all the tops of my carrots. So this is going to get planted into something else. I'm cutting my losses with the carrots right now, and I will try to do a fall crop of carrots later, but something else is going to get popped in here. The asparagus is still doing great, ferning out. We have flowers about to pop, and then these will go to berries, which will be fun. The peas are also going to go to something else because they were past their season. I kind of knew that when I planted them, but I still wanted to try. The beans are still struggling. I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut my losses on these beans, and in these other 2 tubs, plant some bush beans instead of pole beans and see if I get better success with bush beans. That's what I'm used to growing. This was my first time growing pole beans. I mean, I have some flowers coming up. It looks like I'm going to get maybe a couple of beans out of these. But overall, I think what I'm going to do is plant in these 2 tubs some bush beans. So if we come over here, there is our garden, our big tubs. So we've got some good, some bad, some ugly, some new things. So we're going to take a look over here. So this first tub is really struggling. I am going to get some fertilizer in here. This is one of the main reasons why I want to fertilize. Both of these tomato plants I bought outside, and so I'm starting to get worried that they had a disease or something. But they also, things have been getting really dry, and so I think I need to start watering more. And so I'm going to try that first because these have perked up a lot since I watered last. I have been getting cherry tomatoes off of here, which is awesome. I did get that one Cherokee purple. I have some more growing on here. The marigold's doing great. The basil's doing good. So everything in here is growing. There's just some struggle. Again, This Berry's Crazy Cherry was starting to really, both this and the Trip L crop was starting to really struggle. The Trip L crop, I pulled some tomatoes off that had blossom end rot. I'm trying to double check these guys. Yeah, this one's going to end up with it. So the inconsistent watering with the rain that's been coming in and then dry spots will stop your water from being able to pull up its calcium. And so that is definitely a concern. I'm getting swarmed, not really swarmed, but there's bees and then there's wasps flying around me, so I'm standing still for a second. The Berry's Crazy Cherries, that multifloral is popping off all kinds of tomatoes in here, which is exciting. So this is going to get some fertilizer, which will be wonderful for it. And then in this tub, we have a marigold I chopped, which is now bushing out. And then a marigold in the back that I did not chop, which is super tall. And then we have, this is an Arkansas Traveler tomato, and it's got lots of green tomatoes. And then some more Berry's Crazy Cherry tomatoes. So lots of tomatoes setting on here. We should have lots of fruit pretty soon. Overall, these buckets are doing really well. The cucumbers are also doing well. So I'm growing two different varieties. I'm growing a miniature white, which you have to pick super young. I've already gotten a few. So there's one back there. That's almost the size I want to pick it. Oh, there's one that probably had some inconsistent watering. So we have miniature white, and then we have Sikkim, which I need to research because it's supposed to get this brown color, so I think I'm supposed to let it keep going. So I need to double check that. But you can see the brown shoulders starting. But this one has lots of cucumbers setting off on it as well. So overall, the cucumbers are doing really well. They're trying to climb into everything, but they're doing good. So the last tour, I told you guys there was a big marigold in the center here. And I said I was going to pull that marigold out, which I did. And immediately these plants started doing better. So that is incredible. That makes me super happy. And so my nata pino has jumped up. My shishito pepper over here is starting to set flowers. My banana pepper is growing. This was the Coronado. This is a new one to me. It's a snacking pepper. I've pulled some of these off green because it was so heavy with peppers. And just used them like a green bell. But I'm hopefully going to let some of those ripen. And then down here we have the nata pino, and not nata pino, habanada. And we're starting to get peppers. So these will turn orange like a habanero, but they have no heat. Great flavor. In here we have our squash and radishes. My lemon squash is finally setting some fruit, which is awesome. I did go ahead and hand pollinate these. So a female flower has the fruit behind it. Hello, bee. And then a male flower does not have the fruit behind it. Let's see if I can show you. Like this one did not have fruit behind it. So we're looking for that over here as well. So I see male flowers. I don't see any female flowers yet. This is going to be on a Palermo zucchini. I am going to keep tying this one up because these get very top heavy. We grew these last year and they grow very tall. It's almost viney. And so I'm going to go ahead and keep attaching that to this pole. But I'm excited to have some squash pretty soon. If we turn around and come this way, which I need to dump that water out, the onions are gone. I need to finish weeding. So this is the marigold that I transplanted. It's trying to take over the peppers world. I have a sweet banana pepper here, which is just about to start taking off. I have a sweet Marconi pepper, which I got some big peppers on there that are getting ripe. Our one next to this is the shishito. I'm checking for it because I just harvested a bunch off of this the other day. So no big ones. So shishito, and then a habanada, and then a habanada right next to it, which is still doing its thing. It's growing, it's getting bigger, which is awesome. This marigold is huge, so which is really good. Hopefully this helps with pest deterrent. This zinnia is beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and trim that one so it encourages it to keep going. We have a few turnips left down here. I have been harvesting these, and we have some pineapple sage on the other side of the zinnias. Our dill is huge, so I'm going to harvest some of that and let it dry out. Back here we have our okra plants, and we already have some okra growing. So we have okra on that one growing, and then we have an okra on this one on the back side of that leaf growing. And then this is a rogue tomato plant. I don't know what it is. It's just growing. And then all the mint trying to take over the bed. And we have our walking onion plugged in there as well. Okay, so we're going to talk green stalks. This one is being eaten like crazy. More caterpillars have hatched. This week, oh, this is even a different caterpillar than I've been having. So this week I'm going to buy some BT and I'm going to go ahead and spray my greens. Otherwise I'm going to end up with nothing, which would be unfortunate because they are wiping out my plants. So I'm going to go ahead and buy the BT. I don't think I have any. I thought I did, but I don't think I do. And I'm going to get this cleared off. The nasturtiums are still doing great though. Our celery's doing great. This is either a Thai basil or a holy basil. Smells marvelous. We're going to be harvesting this today. Some more celery. Our Swiss chard is hanging in there. But any of our mustards, our collards, our greens, they are being decimated by these caterpillars, which is rather unfortunate. Our kale got decimated before. I think this is another celery. More basil. We have a lettuce leaf basil up here and an Italian basil. So I'm going to keep coming through and harvesting these because I really don't want these Italian basils and lettuce leaf basils to go to seed, and it'll change the flavor. This nasturtium is gone. I don't know what the deal is with this particular one. This one's struggling. So I need to be rotating this more, I think, so this is getting more sun. On this side, I have a pink celery that's growing, but a lot of the other stuff in here is getting eaten. So my other plan is, if it's too hot for these now, which it probably is, some of these greens, if I think they're too far gone to come back, I'm going to pull them and put some bush beans in here and see if we can get some beans out of some of these pockets until I'm ready for a fall switch. The strawberries are doing great. They were setting off a lot of runners. I've been trying to chop the runners off and encourage growth, strawberry growth. So we're going to fertilize this today as well. And then there is some caterpillar damage, but not like a ton. Hi, birdie. So the birds have definitely been getting worms and caterpillars, which is kind of cool. But yeah, they were doing, I think overall we're doing pretty good for this being the first time growing in this space. Now let's go over to this next one. This calendula is going crazy. Oh, it has a caterpillar too. You're a big guy. So one thing I have learned about calendula is caterpillars love to get inside of the flower heads. So you do have to pay attention to caterpillars on here. If you really want to be drying these and you want them to actually grow, you need to make sure you don't get caterpillars diving into their heads. So this is like laying out a lot, which is kind of annoying by the door, but I also want it to get a lot of sun. So I'm going to let this go, and then I'll trim a little bit once these flowers open and try to encourage it to maybe go back up again. This is our chocolate mint on this row, which is ready to be harvested. We've got a peppermint down here that's really ready to be harvested. Our oregano could go for another run. I don't think agastache made it this year, which is unfortunate. Our spearmint is going. Now this is not spreading over very well, so I may take some of this and root it today in water and see if we can get some more pockets to take up that mint. Whereas the chocolate mint is still spreading. So we're gonna let that do its thing. Our pineapple mint looks amazing. And the marigold is insane. Our strawberry mint, which I purchased and brought in from Stark Bros, this one's actually struggling the most. So I'm really sad about that. That's the one I was like super excited about and I actually spent the most money on. So hopefully I can get that to perk back up. I may try to water that too and have it start. I have some tomato starts down here that I'm trying to decide if I'm going to plug into one of those planters over there or not as a second batch of Berry's Crazy Cherries. And I have a lemon cucumber down here in the back that I've got to decide what I'm doing with. And that is the garden tour portion of this video. So now I need to get out here and get the buckets going and get this fertilizer going before it gets any hotter and start fertilizing these plants so they can have a chance to soak that up before it's crazy hot. And I need to make sure I do these as well. And man, these flies are crazy. They're going nuts. I think I want to hang a sticky thing out here, but I'm kind of worried too because I don't want to get bees. Hopefully we're getting a lot more bees because this really pretty tree right here. Let's see if I can show you guys. It's blooming in pink. So hopefully we'll keep getting bees because I wasn't seeing a whole lot at first. I will tell you though, there's a lot of wasp. I think I have a nest over here that might be active that I need to talk to my husband about. Yeah, so let's get fertilizing and then we'll harvest and bring stuff inside. Alright, so I have a 5-gallon bucket. I need about 3 gallons, I think, for the GreenStalks. Ugh. I got the Neptune's organic fish fertilizer this time. If you look, the NPK numbers, there's 2 nitrogen to 3, 3 phosphate to soluble potash is 1. So the phosphate, the 3 is going to help with fruit production and flowering. The nitrogen helps with your greens, and the potash helps with the roots. We need to shake this up. because it has just been sitting there. So this is saying 1/8 of a cup per gallon. So I'm just going to do that. Give it some strong food. I like to wash it off my hands pretty quickly if I get it on there, because I'll tell you what, this stuff stinks. Get to about 4 gallons. All right, so that's coming out the bottom now. I'm gonna go ahead and dump this little bit that's left in my squash. Let's see where it lines up in my squash container, and then we'll do the same thing going down. This one's going to the cucumbers. Okay, I'm putting this fish fertilizer in this bucket, so I know that's what I'm using it for, and this will stay in the garage. Now we get to harvest a few things. Okay, so I know I want to do dill. I know I need to grab that okra. I think I'm going to grab a cucumber and maybe a couple of peppers and some mint. So that's kind of what we're harvesting right now. Oh, basil. Lots of basil. So I'm going to get going, and I got this for tying things up, and I've got my basket for harvesting. So let's get harvesting. Okay, so we have an okra, we have some cucumbers, some marigolds, a beautiful zinnia. Pretty sure this is holy basil, and the purplish stem is Thai basil. We've got lots of mints and basils and dill. I got a couple of peppers hiding underneath. So I went ahead and I picked this guy because I read if it's going yellow, that means it's probably overripe. It might be bitter, but they are supposed to turn brown. So I don't know. I grabbed a small one and that one to see if there's any difference in flavor. And then I'll let the next one get brown and I decide where I actually like to pick them since it's a first time per variety. But I'm gonna get this stuff inside. I'm gonna show you the rack that we got and how I plan to dry these. Okay, so this is the fun rack I got. It's actually a wind chime rack for a store, and they had it on sale for $10, and so I snagged it. I've been trying to decide what I want to do with it. I thought about letting my extra cucumber grow up here. I also thought about putting hats and scarves and things like that on it. But something I really need right now is a place to dry herbs. And so I'm going to go ahead and dry my herbs on it for now, and probably in the winter when it's cold, put hats and scarves on it. So it's going to be my multi-use rack. It is this wrought iron, and it has this really nice wood finish square bottom. So I have the hooks kind of staggered in between each other to help with extra length and airflow. It's not going to stay here in the living room in front of the window, but right now that's where it is. Plus we have our dehumidifier in here, so it'll actually help things dry faster. But I'm going to go ahead and get started on bundling and hanging. So I bought this twine stuff, jute twine. It's a local craft store, and got it for $2.99, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and cut some strips. Man, do I wish I had my scissors. I can't find my scissors, guys. That's why I'm using a knife. Normally, I am all about the scissors, but this is what I have right now, so this is what I'm gonna use. I feel dangerous. So I'm just gonna bundle some of these up and tie them up. The only dilemma is this kind of has a smell to it. It's probably whatever it's processed with. It's unfortunate. So I do have an Excalibur dehydrator, which I am gonna break out here pretty soon. I just need to get some stuff unpacked and cleaned up with it, and then I will probably start using that for herbs because I feel like it's a quicker turnaround, then I don't forget to put them away. But with that being said, air drying actually probably keeps more nutrients. I just like that I can wash or rinse them off and then put them in the dehydrator. But I'm just gonna go ahead, and as long as they look good and not crazy dirty, especially the stuff from the GreenStalk, I'm gonna just hang it. Okay, so that's a few pieces. Close up my knife. It's hot outside already. My hair is crazy. I need to get my flowers put in water. So I cut the marigolds to thin them, and also I don't want them going to seed right now. Later in the season I don't mind them going to seed, but right now I don't want them going to seed. So I'll put those in little bud vases. So let's see, I think this one is one of the easiest ones to tell what it is. And I'm 99% sure this one is holy basil. And then the other one with the purple stems is Thai basil. I could be wrong, but I feel like that seems right. I'm going to take off a couple of these bottom leaves. Anything I take off, I'll lay out usually in dry unless they look kind of wonky. So I'm going to take these 5 and I'm going to wrap them up pretty good here. And I'm going to tie a tight knot. The thing is once these start to dry, the stems will get smaller and more brittle. And so you want to make sure you have these extra tight because you don't want these to just slip out and fall on the floor. I should have probably done these just a little bit longer. That'll work. All right, so I have a little hoop and I have my thing of holy basil and I'm gonna hang that up. And that's pretty much all you do. And then when it's time to harvest, I think that one's holy basil. So one is also very smooth in texture and one is fuzzy in texture. And I feel like the fuzzier one is probably the holy basil, because I think Thai basil is very smooth in texture, if I remember correctly. You can also hang stuff outside. I prefer not to right now here. I'm not home enough to be able to gauge, and we have random summer storms. So maybe when it's further on and we are not having as many random summer storms, I may do that. But right now we just, like, we got an inch of rain yesterday. So, and I was at work. So that would have been not good if these were hang drying outside. Okay, so another holy basil bundle is done. I'm gonna like this. It's gonna be so pretty. So that one's Thai, and that one's Thai. This one's holy. This one here, holy and holy. So I think I'm really gonna like this rack after now that it's done and it's hung up and it's on wheels. I can move it around. I stuck it to the corner of the living room for now, where it's not in front of the window, but it's also still closer to the dehumidifier. This was very relaxing to sit here and tie up herbs, and I was smelling the differences. I'm probably going to start picking my mint into separate baskets or bowls. That way I don't mix them up. But yeah, this is one of the reasons why I love to grow herbs. I love the process of growing them, cutting them, drying them, and then using them. And I love them hanging around the house. And it's one of my favorite things. Anything that was too small to really hang, I'll lay out and let that dry on a cheesecloth or a towel or something, and just let it do its thing. But that's really it. That's the end of the video. I'll show you a clip of the final rack as it's done, and so you can see what it looks like, all full of herbs. This was a kind of a cool find and I'm excited about it. I've done all kinds of different drying racks. I've hung from a string hanging across an opening in our kitchen at our past apartment. I have done a rack made out of PVC. and twine and cheesecloth. I have just laid them out on tea towels and such, and really just allowed the air to dry them. But then again, you can also use your Excalibur, and you want to try to keep it at the lowest temperature. I purposely bought one, I think that is 95 degrees. Most hydrators will do the 105 or 104 or whatever. If you can keep it under 100, that's best for medicinal and nutritional properties. And freeze drying is obviously the best for nutritional and medicinal properties, but I don't have a freeze dryer, so trying to keep it as natural as possible and as just as nutritional as possible. And this is just fun. It's just pretty and fun to hang them. So I hope you enjoy. I hope you enjoy this rack. I hope you liked the garden tour, and we will see you back here for the next video.